Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let me read this last stanza. And then I'm hoping tomorrow we'll begin the first chapter of the Gita. सर्वोपनिषदो गावो धोक्ता गोपालनंदना अर्तो वत्सा सुधिर्भोक्ता दुग्धम गीतामृतम महत्. This Gita Upanishad Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads, is just like a cow. And Lord Krishna, who is famous as a cowherd boy, is milking the cow. Arjuna is just a calf, and learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani, Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्मापि एकम तस्य devasya seva. In the present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. Ekam shastram, eko devo, eko mantra, karmapi ekam, one occupation. One scripture, one God, one religion, one occupation. Therefore, ekam shastram devaki putra gitam. Let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world, Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Devaki Putra. Who is Devaki Putra? Krishna. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Gitam. Let there be one scripture, one common scripture for the Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Let there be one God for the whole world, Sri Krishna. Eko Mantra Tasya Namani, and one hymn, one mantra and one prayer, chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. Let there be one work only. Karmapi asya devasya. Let there be one work. The service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dear devotees, if we come to this four conclusion, which is the essence of everything, then only our life is perfected. And for this, we require page number, next page, which is the disciplic succession. Evam parampara apraptam imam rajarsayo viduhu. Bhagavad Gita 4.2. This Bhagavad Gita as it is received through this disciplic succession. There are 32 authorized acharyas right from the Lord himself. And whoever comes under this association and then comes in contact to those personalities and their followers, their life is success. And depends on how the jiva is actually taken. We discuss about this. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam mena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamayyam Tadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसदि गौड़ भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगं लंकायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणम्. हरे कृष्ण. So, सर्वोपनिषदो गावो धोक्ता गोपाल नंदना. Partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdam gitamritam mahat. This Gita Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads. Now, a person can never proclaim that there is superior to the words of the Lord. The essence of all the Upanishads is just like a cow. Dear devotees, now let me compare this to something modern which we can understand further. Before AI came, if we want something, how are we searching? Let's say before Google came, before internet came. Let's say you have to travel from Cincinnati to Cleveland or Cincinnati to Pittsburgh. Now, how did you do that before GPS was there? Before 2008, how are people traveling? I remember when I first came in 2007, there were no smartphones at that time. So we used to go to Google Maps, and then put to destination, source and the destination, and then print out the whole thing, and then underline wherever the exits are, major exits. And then there used to be another person who's sitting next. Then he used to tell, you should take exit this, exit that. So before the GPS, because those days we didn't have leverage to have a GPS in our car, because there were other Garmin GPS at the time which is available, which we can use, but we did not purchase that because it was little expensive for us because we were like college students, right? So we used to put that in the map and then write down and then go. Oh, before that era, let's say 1990s, the Google was not there. How are people doing? That was a question which I had. I was asking my supervisor at the university. And then he told me that during the 90s or 80s or 70s, we used to go to the gas station. And then they used to give these maps. And then they used to purchase the maps. And then by following those maps, they used to go from one place to the other. And then in between, they used to ask questions to some people. And then that's how they actually traveled from one place to the other. So why am I telling this is, so now the technology is advanced so much. Now you put everything in the phone, source and destination, and then it will tell, take left, take right. Everything is given to us. And then if you're trying to find something online, you go and ask AI. The technology is even further advanced. You go and ask AI, and then it will give whatever answer you're supposed to get. So the summary which is actually been given by the AI, how it would do that? It would read all the pages. Through reading all the pages, then it would understand to generate a result and then give the summary to it. That's how it generates, right? That's how you see. So when you see in that way, what is happening? You are not spending time to do an assessment. For example, there is an issue. You just ask. You're not doing a research. You're not you're not spending time reviewing various websites trying to figure out which one is best. Now you're asking a person who is not like is like artificial, right? But what this artificial is doing, this is actually reviewing everything, assessing, and then giving us a summary report out of it. So when you read the summary report, you understand what can be done. What are the thoughts? What are the opinions? You can understand that. So the essence of all the Upanishads, dear devotees, all the Upanishads are like web pages. Please understand this. Let's say you typed something, you get like 100 web pages. You're not asking AI, but you're asking Google. You typed, you get 100 web pages. Now you actually go into each and every web page and then review the data and then get what you want out of it. Because you will not just stay at one website, one web page. You'll go to multiple web pages to really understand what's happening. You'll try to see different opinions, different options to your question or whatever you're looking for, right? That's how you did, right? Now each and every web page is like a Upanishad. The result which you are getting out of all that thing is a Gita. Please understand. You have different web pages. Every web page is an Upanishad. But the summary which you get out of reading all those web pages, that is actually Gita. So the Lord personally is coming and then he's telling us through his pure souls. That is why disciplic succession is very important. If disciplic succession is not there, we cannot understand what Krishna wanted us to understand. Because he spoke that 5,000 years ago. Now, how would I correlate that to now? Because 5,000 years ago is a big time. Now, how do I correlate that to now? If I cannot correlate that to now, how do I see, for example, Krishna has spoken Gita 5,000 years ago. Let's say if I just open up his translation. Let's say if I open up, let's say if I read a text, now I just randomly opened 10th chapter, 19th shloka. It says Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha means Krishna speaking. Only for Krishna they say Bhagavan. Rest everyone they call it as Arjuna Vacha or Sanjaya Vacha, Dhritarashtra Vacha. But they don't say Bhagavan Vacha to everyone. They say only Bhagavan Vacha when Krishna is speaking. Okay. And Hantate katasyami divya hi atma vibhutyaya pradayanta kurukshresha nasti yanto vistaraya mime. So Krishna has spoken a shloka. Now, how do I know that what Krishna is really meaning, really meant through this particular? For example, if I learn Sanskrit, then I know some details of out of it. But if I know the person from the heart, that means one should know Krishna from the heart. That means if I know the person from the heart, what happens is we know what he is trying to tell. Now I'll give an example on this. Let's say there are two people. This is very important here about is what I'm discussing now. Let's say there are two people. Person A do not have ill feeling towards person B. But person B has an ill feeling towards person A. When person A speaks, he speaks with good motive only. But the person B is taking not with good motive because his heart is different, because his heart is not exactly as the heart of A. Then what is happening? Person B is actually analyzing or understanding the same thing. The A might have been spoken in a positive way. But the B will not take it in a positive way because his perception is totally different compared to A. That means his consciousness is different. Let's say vice versa. Person A is bad. Person B is good. Person A is actually speaking ill. But person B, through his consciousness, through his connection, what is he doing? He's not taking it as bad. He's taking positivity from that also. That means where is it depending? That means the words which are being spoken by a person or the same words which are being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead here, if it is given to a person who is not a devotee, please understand this is very important. If it is being given that the same verse is being spoken by a person who is not a devotee, but who is an atheist, what is his perception? What is his vision of taking? Actually, he won't even read this because he's an atheist. Let's say, for suppose he read this. Now, what is his understanding? There is nothing like this. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like hellish planets. There is nothing like heaven. Whatever I have today, that is what I am. Just like Indra, when he took the pig body, he's telling Narada Muni that I'm not Indra. I have a cute girl, I have a cute boy, I have a cute wife. This is my family. This is my vicinity. I do not belong to heavenly planets. I'm a pig. I'm a king of the pig. I have to stay here. This is my community. And without me telling, the community will not exist. That's what he's speaking to Narada Muni in his pig language to Narada Muni. That means what is happening? His real core understanding is been forgotten. He's something else now. He's thinking that he's that, but he's not technically that. But he's convinced that he's that. Just like we are convinced that I am this body. We are convinced. Now, who is not convinced? We are convinced. We are fully convinced that yes, I'm this body. I'm not a soul because I don't see that soul. That means if I don't understand, if I don't put faith which I don't see, that means I don't see here. I don't see my daughter who's in the next door, who's in the next room, or she might be crying or eating or sleeping. I don't know what's happening there. That doesn't, if I don't know from here, that doesn't mean that she's not there. She's there. Now, my father might be in Hyderabad. It doesn't mean that he's not there in Hyderabad. I cannot see from here, but he's there in Hyderabad. Likewise, if my father is there in Hyderabad, Krishna is also there in Goloka. No, I cannot see him personally right now, but if I develop that consciousness which he is trying to give through Gita, then there is a chance and a hope which is very positive. For example, you invested in a stock market. Just giving an example. When you invest in stock market, you understand that there are fluctuations in the market. But you also understand that there's a positivity, that there's a chance if the market grows, then the value of the stock price will increase. That means you'll get the profits out of it. That means you can make a livelihood out of it. I'm just giving an example. That means you're hoping for something. Even on a material plane, a person is hoping for a positive thing. Oh, what to speak of spirituality, which is being given by the acharyas continuously. Krishna gave this to Brahmaji, Brahmaji to Naradji. That means, please understand this, dear devotees, this truth has been protected through the hearts of these exalted Vaishnava acharyas. Now, when the truth is protected through the heart of these exalted Vaishnava acharyas, don't we give equal respect as we give to Krishna, to these personalities? This was the question which I had. When we are seeing this further or going deeper into this, then it's very clear that yes, they are worshipable personalities. Because if these personalities are not there, then the truth wouldn't have been received. If the truth wouldn't have been received, that means there is no opportunity for us to understand the Lord. For example, if nobody is telling me that if you go this direction, you'll get this. For example, if there are no maps, see, if GPS was not there, then there were maps. Now the cell phone is there, we are not looking into who is purchasing Garmin GPS. Does anyone purchase Garmin GPS now in US? Nobody would purchase Garmin GPS anymore because it's not required. Everyone is using cell phones. Do you see people purchasing like maps now and then seeing the maps and then driving? No, it's not required. Dude, what is this advancement? What is it showing? It is actually easing our life. Likewise, dude, what is the acharyas who come in our life, Srila Prabhupada and his followers, when they come in our life, what happens is they're easing the burden of our life. That means they're telling that if I follow this, then my life is successful. I was discussing about this yesterday. And if these personalities are not there, then if there's a problem coming into our life, then who will solve that problem? If there is a dilemma in our life, then who will clear that dilemma? If there is an issue, who will solve that issue? Actual truth, the Vaishnav. Hear their words. Follow their instructions to the core of the heart. Actually, today I'm telling about my heart. Because, dear devotees, if we don't spend quality time doing Shravana, I'll tell you we cannot chant our rounds. That's my realization actually. I always think about this. If I'm not hearing properly or if I'm not understanding the scriptures properly, then with what glorification I will chant the names of the Lord? For whose pleasure I will chant their names? Definitely the mind will tell, why are you wasting time here? Mind will tell because why? Because if we are loose, for example, I'll tell another thing. If your heart is weak, dear devotees, that means the heart is not strong. Not strong means it's not Krishna conscious. Then if a negative thing comes in our life, if people are bombarding negativity into your consciousness, you are affected to that. Please understand. Totally affected to that. You cannot come out of it. This is one case of affecting. It is the second case of affecting is the person is strong. That strong is what? Through arrogance. The heart is strong through arrogance also. People don't care the other person. That is not through that understanding that this dukha, this place is material world, this is dukhalayam. No, it's not that understanding, dear devotees. And if that understanding is there, they will not simply ignore the other person also. Because they will have good qualities in their heart. They will pray for them. There are so many things manifesting in the background. They'll pray for the soul. They'll pray for the well-being of that person. Dadati pratignati. Exchanges do happen. This is what is the second category which I was trying to speak is the second category through arrogance. What happens? I will reject that person. And what I will do, I will develop envy to that person. That means whenever I see that person next time, I'll have envy in the heart. But even if we are humiliated, if we are put down, when we see that person, we offer respects in the heart. We try to serve that person. Dear devotees, I'll tell a secret today. If you have any envy, a tinge of envy on any person in this world, rest assured you will not go to the spiritual world. That is next thing. But how to come out of that, I'm going to tell now. Please hear this attentively. If you have any enmity to any person in this world, try go and serve that person. You'll come out of that. You'll come out of that envy feeling to that person. Because what are you doing? You're putting your falsive aside and then serving that person. Then in the core of the heart, you're actually praying for that person. This is Krishna consciousness. If you do this, you will actually thrive in Krishna consciousness. That means any problem, any trouble, you understand, you see presence of the Lord in that. Because what is happening? That our consciously, our mentality is being corrected there continuously. Please understand. What is corrected? Our mentality is corrected. Nothing else. What is if our mentality is corrected, then what is happening internally? What is happening? You actually feel indebted to the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, you have given me the situation. Thank you. I'll accept this. I'll embrace the situation and then I'll move forward. Because if I embrace the situation, this is pleasing you. And not just you, your representatives are very happy with that. Because if we are non-envious, who's the first person who is happy? Our spiritual master will be very happy. Because that is what he's teaching now every day. To be non-envious, to be compassionate, to be gentle, to be humble, not to find faults with others. So when these qualities do manifest, naturally Krishna will come and sit in your heart. Currently, Krishna is already there, but due to anartha, we don't realize that. But when these things are gone or taken away from the consciousness, then you'll realize the presence of the Lord in the heart, and then you'll never be duplicious in the heart. If the heart dupliciousness is removed, then Vishwam Purnam Sukhalaya. That means you are very joyful. You're a very joyful person. And people want to come to you. People want to understand. People want to know what's happening in the consciousness. How consciousness will give happiness. Dhritarashtra couldn't understand that. Next today and tomorrow only we'll discuss. Tomorrow we'll discuss about Dhritarashtra because we'll be entering into chapter 1. I'm so excited. Bhakti, Bhakti is a transformation of the heart, dear devotees. Bhakti is not like you complete. Bhakti is not like, tomorrow is, what is this? Uh, Gita Jayanti. Let me read all the slokas. This is good because in Gita Jayanti we should read the slokas. No, you read the slokas, what happened? The heart changed. The heart change will happen when we churn through the slokas. That means, that means you should go deeper into each and every sloka. That means for us every day is Gita Jayanti because every day we're discussing Gita now. Because every day whoever is absorbed in the teachings of the Gita, dear devotees, I heard this when I first came to Krishna consciousness. Every day who is discussing, who is understanding, who is absorbing in the Gita, he'll actually see Radharani once he leaves the body. He'll see who? Srimati Radharani. What is Srimati Radharani? It's the internal energy of the Lord. Because his heart is purified now. Because he's no longer doing what? He's no longer, he's no longer in the state of competing with the other person. Oh, yes, this person. If you are competing with the other person, what is, this person is he's moving forward in Krishna consciousness. Oh, I should stop him. Those personalities will stay here only. For example, if I see a devotee is advancing very much, and then in the heart I'm praying to the Lord, my dear Lord, please halt his progress, then the prayer will be rejected, and we will also be rejected. For example, if a devotee is really practicing, you should be very happy seeing that person. Oh, this Prabhu is practicing very nicely. Oh, my dear Lord. You should pray to the Lord like this. Oh, my dear Lord, someday please you also give me that consciousness so that I can also advance in Krishna consciousness. Then, if for that prayer, this is the moment Lord will begin giving tests in our life. Because why test will come, dear devotees? Because you really want to become Krishna conscious. Actually, since the beginning of Krishna consciousness until today, that is my prayer. Oh, my dear Lord, please give me an opportunity so that I become more Krishna conscious. Then the questions will come, why you want to become Krishna conscious? To serve the spiritual master. Why you want to serve the spiritual master? Because I want to become pure. Because with only pure consciousness I can serve him. Otherwise I cannot serve him. Oh my dear Lord, at least in this life or in the next life, please give an opportunity. Please make me pure. Today, tomorrow, this life, next life, or the next life after that. So that at least that purity can serve these personalities. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Hemora Sampada. That is the essence for us. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj talked to Srila Prabhupada. When he was leaving his body, he told his please chant this mantra. And he meditated, remembered those glories, and then he went back to Godhead. He's serving those manjaris there in the spiritual world now. If he himself is that, what is their mode? Dasa, 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 anudas. They want to serve the other manjaris. They don't aspire to serve Lord directly because they don't feel qualified to serve the Lord directly. It is no matter how much qualification they have, but still they don't feel, oh, I do not have qualification to serve the Lord. What qualification? I always think about this. If these exalted Vaishnava acharyas are telling that, then what qualification we have? So every day I get an opportunity to offer the boga to the Lord. I feel so much inspired. Because when I was doing that boga offering, to whom I am giving? I'm giving to my spiritual master. Because I have strong faith and feeling that he will submit this to the Lord. Because I don't believe on myself, because I don't have that consciousness. But I trust my master. Because my master is exalted. He's an exalted Vaishnava Acharya. Yeah, he will give it to. his spiritual master. He will give it to his spiritual master. That's how it goes to Srimati Radharani. And then she will put all the love and affection, everything in that. And then she will submit to the Lord. Shishirala Vrindavan Chandra. She will submit to Vrindavan Chandra. And that Vrindavan Chandra he will honor. And then he will give it again to Srimati Radharani. And then that's how it actually comes to our plate. That is when we actually honor that prasad, we are actually honoring the glories of the internal energy of the Lord. This is the mercy of Srimati Radharani and her associates, the Gaurangi mercy. Gauranga mercy is being brought by Gaurangi. Hare Krishna. That Gauranga is so beautiful, is a golden form. That same Krishna, because he knows if somebody wants to tell about him, he himself has to come and tell. Otherwise, nobody can understand the Lord. That's why Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, he came to give us that nectar. And then his followers, Acharyas, exalted Vaishnava Acharyas, they come, they descend into this world to teach us this science. But they are not ordinary person, they don't belong here. Because what are they discussing? They're not discussing about the mundane stuff of this world. They're discussing about the exotic happiness, exalted happiness which is there in the spiritual realm. The devotees of prasad is actually, technically, it is coming from the spiritual world only. That means that spiritual world is actually manifested here through prasad. Please understand. That means Lord is so merciful, He comes into the picture and then He will accept that. Because I always think about this. Because sometimes if the offering is little late, Hare Radha Vrindavan Chandra is sleeping in America. For example, if I offered it 10 in the morning. 10 in the morning is what in US? It's 11:30. 11:30 in the night. 11:30 or 12:30, whatever, you know. The Lord sleeps at 9. That means if I offer it at 11:30, 12:30, that means I'm disturbing the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, you're already sleeping there. But I'm offering you from here. Now, how is this possible? Because I have the picture of Shri Radha Chandra at home. Oh, my dear Lord. But when you're sleeping now, oh, how is this possible? How is it happening? What's happening in the background? So what do we do? Oh, my dear Lord, please accept. I know this is a rest time for me, but please accept this boga. Please accept. That means what are we trying to do? We are trying to put a ticket to the Lord, a packet to the Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, please accept this packet. I know I'm not qualified, I'm not good. I don't know anything, but let me, please accept this boga. These devotees have made a wonderful boga. When they gave me an opportunity to do offering, my dear Lord, please accept. They are very selfless. Please accept their boga. And then I tell about them with how much eagerness they prepared that boga. We should have details there about it because this is bhakti, na. Bhakti means what? Bhakti means details. We should go into the details. Just like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj says, he says, I can write an entire book just between the conversation of Lord intimately sitting and honoring the Boga with his devotees. Just means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he's honoring Prasad, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I can write a book on this because there are so many intimate exchanges between devotee and his devotees, between the Lord and his devotees. Just see here, it's very interesting. The Lord and his devotee, right? The Lord is actually devotee here. That means a conversation between devotee and the devotee. That means the same consciousness is actually there in the spiritual world also, dear devotees. That means the Lord doesn't feel that he's like a Lord. He's a normal person there. That means it's an exchange of between two people. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually manifested that. That means in the Bhaumya Leela, in this material world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually manifested that because he never proclaimed himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he's Supreme Personality of Godhead. When somebody calls him Hari Hari, so when somebody calls him your Supreme Personality of God, he closes his ear and then he says Hari Hari. That means what is he? What is he manifesting? There are intimate exchanges between the Lord and his devotees, but he never feels it as a Lord. That means it's an exchange between two devotees only. Exchange between two devotees is one dear devotee is very intimate. That same intimacy is there in the spiritual world. That means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came here to show how loving relationships do work. And when the exchange is between pure souls, that is what? That is the same exchange in the spiritual world. There's no difference because they are pure. The materialism is not touched to them. They are on an exalted plane. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. They're free from all the dualities. If anything has to happen, it will happen. Let me just be here happy. If that has to be removed, okay. If this has to be removed, okay, accepted. But if Krishna consciousness is removed, no, 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 no. How can I accept that? I want that only. You can remove anything, but I want. Please keep that Krishna consciousness. I don't want anything else. Just keep me. Just keep me in that. Now, those personalities, this is the consciousness of these acharyas, dear Lord, is what we are discussing now. They don't aspire for anything in this world. They just aspire for this. Just keep me Krishna conscious. Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is telling, at the age of 95, is telling, oh, I do not have any qualification. How can I write Chaitanya Charitamrita? No, Nityananda Prabhu told me to write, but what qualification I have? I have no qualification. I don't know how to write also. I don't know anything about Chaitanya Prabhu. What will I write? See, this is a mood, you see. What is he telling? I don't know anything about Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, how can I write? How can I understand this science? Then what is he doing? He's going to every door in Vrindavan and asking every Vaishnav, please give me an opportunity. Nityananda Prabhu gave me this service. I want to do this. Please give your blessings so that I can do this. This is the mood. Now, the mood which he's carrying, this consciousness is very dear to the Lord. That's why what Lord does is Lord would empower that soul. Through that empowerment, what happens? The Divya Jnana Hridaya Prakashita, the transcendental knowledge has been actually transferred from one spiritual master to the other spiritual master. That means one Acharya in the disciplic succession to the other Acharya. That's how Brahmaji gave the instruction to Narada Muni. That's how the instruction is not changed. Now I'll tell another thing. For example, you're actually giving, let's say, one person told something in the ear of first person. There are 30 people in the queue, in the line. One first person told, you're a very nice boy. He said, whatever you hear, you should tell to the next person. Now, first person heard as is. Let's assume that first person heard as is. But he was unable, he heard it, but he's unable to express it outside correctly. But what is a game rule? He has to tell to the second person. He told to the second person, to the third person, fourth person, fifth person, 29th person, and 30th person. So the first person, where he heard from the person who actually spoke, he will go to the 30th person and then he will ask, what did you hear? And that person will tell something else. Something else what he told to the first person. Now, what is this proving? That means in this chain, something happened in between. There's a breakage. Something is broken in between. For example, there's a pipe. In India, we see this. In America, we don't see this. You know, when you're in India in your early days, right? You have a pipe, you have a tap outside your home. There's a pipe, and then you have small garden, right? That pipe goes into the garden, right? Many plants are there. When you open the tap, the water comes. But if there is a cut in between, will the water still come? Water will come, it will come little less. That means the efficiency of the water is reduced. Because what happened? There is a cut in between. Please understand, since 5,000 years, there is no cut in between. There is no deficiency in these words. Because these words have been protected. The essence behind the instruction is being restored. Is being not restored. I wouldn't, restored is not the right word. It is preserved. That means every acharya who is actually there in the lineage, we are eternally indebted to them, especially to our spiritual master. Because through that spiritual master only, through our acharyas only, dear devotees, The chain, we are connected to that chain. Otherwise, there is no possibility to understand Gita. That's why Prabhupada actually kept this discipline succession at the right place. Now I'm thinking, "Arey, why Prabhupada actually kept here? He could have kept in the middle also. But he kept at the right time because he wants to confirm that these four things have to be established. Eko Shastram, Eko Devo. Who is the Eko Devo? Devaki Putra Gita. Devaki Putreva. He is the only master, dear devotees. Krishna is the only master. Rest everyone are his subordinates. Eko Shastram. This has been quoted in the Gita Mahatmya itself. Please understand. Eko Shastram, Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo, Devaki Putra Eva. They did not tell any person. Eko Devo. No, he said only one is Krishna. Eko means one, dear devotees. Eko Devo means Eko master. This is the master. This is the supreme personality of Godhead. And Eka mantra, Tasya Namani. What is that Eka mantra? Hare Krishna mantra. Chanting of. That means if one chants Hare Krishna mantra, he gets everything. He doesn't have to do anything else actually. But to chant that Hare Krishna mantra, one should require consciousness. For that, one should require training. Because, for example, if a person is simply chanting without any hearing, he'll be in Maya within no time. Why? Because he'll be puffed up now. Because he's already thinking that he's a devotee. I'll tell how if he's just chanting but not hearing what the problem is. Dear devotees, if a person is just chanting but not hearing, you know what the problem he will come? He'll get Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara. They'll become very strong. Because he's chanting. But Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, he's actually feeding these things. Because he doesn't know with what attitude he has to chant. He doesn't understand with what consciousness he should hear. Because there's no hearing now. He's just chanting. He heard somebody, he heard from somewhere that, oh, chanting of Hare Krishna will take you back home, back to Godhead. But he doesn't know how that chanting has to happen. The chanting has to happen in the Shuddhana. That means a person has to be completely surrendered to that state. Then only he can chant that rounds. Otherwise, he cannot chant that rounds. Otherwise, he'll just finish the rounds. Finishing rounds is okay. But we don't aspire for just to finish the round. Dear devotees, this proper says about this. One should not chant like parrot. What is a parrot chanting? Parrot is also telling Hare Krishna. But when there is a problem, when the throat is caught, when the parrot's throat is caught, it will not tell Hare Krishna. It will tell Kai Kai. Because the real thing will come during the difficulty. That means the person is actually just chanting, but he doesn't know what is the essence of that. Then he will leave when difficulties do come. Or he'll become so proud thinking that he's chanting Hare Krishna. Because he doesn't have any placeholder. Because he's not going through the process of training. It's completely another plane. So that is one thing, right? Eko mantra and karmani ekam tasya devasya seva. Karmani ekam. That means I should do activities for pleasing the Lord. Then, to accomplish these four things, we require this discipline succession. Spiritual master mercy, Acharya's mercy, their blessings, surrendering to them, aspiring to serve them, leading our life to please them. When this thing is established, then we can understand, then we will come to this point that Eko Shastram is the only thing. Otherwise, we will read thousands of books thinking that will give happiness, this will give happiness, that will give happiness. But we will not focus on what we have to focus on. Vyavasayatmika buddhi will not come because Vyavasayatmika buddhi is actually gifted to us. It will not come just like that. Somebody has to give us. Just think about this, dear devotees. Preserving the truth since 5,000 years, not just since 5,000 years. Krishna told recently 5,000 years. Before that also, millions of years back also, he told this same instruction to sun god Vivaswan. That means since millions of years, this thing is coming. Dear devotees, if you actually see the disciplic succession which I am saying, Krishna is telling to Brahmaji. Oh, when did Krishna told to Brahmaji? Oh, during the time of creation. Please understand. This is the time of creation. It means this disciplic success is not since 5,000 years. It's more than that actually. Did the creation happen 5,000 years? No. There was Treta Yuga, there is Dwapar Yuga, there is Satya Yuga. Before that, actually, we really don't know how these things are working. Please understand. Since eternally this is being managed. That means Lord is protecting this since eternity. Eternally, since eternity. Since eternity, this has been protected. Because when first Brahmaji came, that is when Lord gave that instruction to Brahmaji. That means how many Brahmajis came? That means how many times Lord has told this? And then Brahmaji gave this to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni gave this to Vyasdev. Vyasdev to Madhvacharya. Vyasdev is a epitome person who is actually preserving this truth. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And among all of this, Lord is again coming, Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also there in the disciplic succession. That means Krishna is there two times. If you notice, in this disciplic succession, Arjuna is not there. I asked this question to my spiritual master. Why Arjuna is not there? No, Arjuna's disciplic succession is different. Not part of that. That means Lord has told to Arjuna also. He told in Gita itself. Just see, dear devotees, how deep this science is. That means Lord personally came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and again he is telling this truth. That means Krishna told this Gita 5,000 years ago on the book. He told this millions of years back also. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu assured and then told us how to do this practically. He came 500 years ago. 540 years. This is dear devotees, how fortunate we are. That means whoever is there in this disciplic succession, only these personalities will understand the truth as is. Because these personalities are not part of they do not have these four defects. The personalities who are there in the disciplines, they do not have these four defects. What is these four defects? Cheating propensity, making mistakes, illusion, imperfections. They do not have all of these things. They are free from all of these things. And they are gifted that science of pure devotional service by the mercy of their spiritual master. That's how when we actually discuss about that, our heart will be transformed. Why? Because this truth is very powerful. Please understand. Because these are not my words, these are the words of my spiritual master. Now, when I go and ask him, he says that these are not my words. These are the words of Srila Prabhupada. We cannot proclaim anything. Because this is a preserved. This is being preserved by them. They are the authority for this. I cannot proclaim that these are my words. It's cheating, na? For example, if son receives something from the father, let's say father gave 10 rupees to the son. Does the son proclaim that this is mine? That's cheating, na? He's fooling. Now he knows that the father gave him 10 rupees. That means this belongs to the father. It's not me. It's not mine. Because this truth belongs to them. It's not ours. Now we can never proclaim this. This is ours. The sadhaka is always sadhaka. The dasa is always dasa. He can never become master. That is not the intent, na. Dasa wants to remain dasa only. He doesn't want to become master because his position is on dasa only. Do you see ever dog complaining to the master? The dog is very obedient to the master. The dog position is always that. Through that only the dog gets happiness. Just by seeing the master, the dog will become happy. Likewise, the sadhaka is so happy with seeing the master. We should be very happy to seeing our masters. Because our nature is what? Our nature is always this. Now those personalities, who are completely selfless. In their heart, the truth is preserved. Please understand. Person should be completely selfless. Just like you see the example of Pundarik Vidyanidhi Maharaj. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is very rich person. Gadadhar Pandit, when he saw him, it's very interesting. You see, Gadadhar Pandit is actually Srimati Radharani. Pundarik Vidyanidhi is her father, Vishabhanu. That means the daughter is actually going to the father, and the daughter is actually becoming the disciple of the father. It's interesting. The relation is beautiful. Huh? Now, when Gadadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radharani, when he goes to Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he gets bewildered by seeing his beauty, by seeing his opulence. He misrepresented, he couldn't understand. Then the other devotee told him, you read a shloka from the Bhagavatam and then see how he reacts. The moment he heard shloka from the Bhagavatam, he left everything aside and then he's actually crying profusely. His heart is actually is unable to accept that. Then understood that he is there here. He's there with this thing, but he's not part of that. It's not connected to that. He's there, but he's not connected. Likewise, dear devotees, when we become sincere in our heart, when we try to aspire for that pure consciousness, the anarthas will be there in our heart, but we will not be connected to that. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsara, they will stay in the heart, they will not impact us. There's this example, right? Narada Muni. Narada Muni has so many disciples. He has a snake, also a disciple, snake. Oh, he told that snake. Oh, through the association of Narada Muni, the snake became very compassionate, very gentle, very humble. And then earlier the snake was like hissing, disturbing people. But now after association of Narada Muni, the snake became very sadhu. Snake became sattva, Shuddha sattva. Then people understood that. And then they started hitting stones at the snake. They started mocking her, playing with the tail. Because the snake is not biting anymore. They started, using her. But snake is quiet. It's not reacting. When Nardoni came again and he saw, are you bleeding? What happened to you? My dear disciple, what happened? Then the snake told everything, this is what happened. You told me to be simple, not to impact anyone, just lead a simple life. I'm just leading the simple life, and the people are, this is what happened. They're eating me with stone, but I'm not reacting. Trinada Pisunicha, you told me, na? Trinada Pisunicha, more humble than the blade of grass, tolerant than the tree, giving respect to everyone, not expecting any respect. Snake is telling. Then Narduni says, no, no, if you're like this, then they're causing discomfort to you. Now do one thing from today. You follow the same Trinadapi, but you act in a different way. From now, when people come begin with you, just hiss. Don't bite them, just hiss. Make a sound that you are about to bite them. Just by making a sound, they will run away from you. That means you're not impacted anymore. Still you are maintaining the Trinadapi. Dear devotee, this is what we should aspire for. We should use words, but we should not impact them. We should hey, we should when the children, we tell, right? Hey, you know what? Buchodo, the person will come. So, so I don't. I remember my aunt. She tells my daughter. She'll tell the daughter, you know what? Monkey is coming. Sleep, sleep now. Otherwise, monkey will come and take you. Sleep, sleep. Then she'll sleep. So these are the things. I think I remember one time Madhava Krishna Prabhu was asking this question. Prabhu, if we become very humble, then people will use us. Prabhu, follow. We should follow this. What is this? We should hiss, but we should hiss without having envy to the other person. So otherwise, otherwise we are impacted. If we have envy and then hissing, it's dangerous. We should not be envious, but we need to hiss. We should tell, oh, you know what, I'll complain if you do this. If he does, then if he really does, then we'll see what to be done. But we need to tell them, oh, you know what, मैं complain करूंगा आप ऐसे करिए तो. Then he'll be fearful. He'll stay away. We have no evil intention to the other person. We don't want to put them down. We just want to move forward. So this thing has to be established, dear devotees. So Krishna consciousness is a very dynamic process. Likewise, to develop good relations, we should have exchanges. Dadati pratigyunati. If they are not accepting, but still from our side, we should tell. If they are not accepting, that's okay. You know, we'll use it in the service of the Lord. But from our side, we should put focus. Hare Krishna. So please understand, dear devotees, the disciplic succession is very, 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 very important. Worshipping our acharyas. Acharya Upasana is the essence. If Acharya Upasana is there, then you'll understand what this Gita is. Then you'll understand the heart of Arjuna. I remember a spiritual master telling what's happening in Arjuna's heart also. I was just thinking, how the spiritual master knows what's happening in the heart of Arjuna? How is he knowing? Did he went to Kurukshetra? Was he actually watching what's happening between Krishna and Arjuna? I see him burning. He's born now. I don't. For example, if for suppose if he's born 5,000 years ago, then how is he remembering now? Because after leaving the body, they will forget everything. And how is that he's remembering? How is that he's able to tell the exactly the heart what is happening in the heart of the Acharya, what is happening in the heart of pure soul Arjuna? Then he gave the answer very beautifully. He said, you know, it's the mercy of the spiritual master. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Because what they will give is, they will actually give that. They will actually give that conviction. They will actually give that truth. They will actually give that realization, that they will actually give that deeper understanding of what is happening in their heart. If you actually read the purport, you'll actually realize, how is that Shiva Prabhupada? Shiva Prabhupada went there. And how is he writing that exactly what exactly is happening in the heart of Arjuna is writing? And to understand that also, well, before also I was reading these slokas, but I couldn't understand. But to understand that, we need to know. We need to know this. Otherwise, we cannot understand the devotees. That's why if the connection is not there, you'll just see an exchange of some information, but that information will not transform our consciousness. To transform our consciousness, our heart, we need relation. We need that personal touch. Otherwise, what happens is we can tell this truth to the other person, but by telling this truth to the other person or quoting something will not give us satisfaction in the heart. That means the Kama Krodha still stay because still the connection is not yet established. Please understand, on the Diksha day, we don't think that just by getting initiated, my connection is established. Yes, no doubt connection is established externally, but internal connection is established through shikshana, through training. The training has to happen. Through the training, what happens? The internal connection is established. See, in devotees, even not getting initiated, they go back, come back to God because they're connected internally. Please understand. There's so many Vaishnavas who went back, come back to God without getting initiated also. But what is their consciousness? Their consciousness, their core of the heart is what? Wish to please the Lord. That means they're connected internally. That internal connection is very, very important. See, without hearing, whoever is not giving importance to that hearing process, please try to stay away from that association. I'm telling you, it's very important. Serious also. Please do not associate. Associate means do not share your heart, do not share information. No. Discuss only among the devotees who are actually hearing, who are actually serious. Take that association who's serious. Do not take that association who's not serious. We should never take that association. We should just say Hare Krishna and then move forward. We should do our business. We should not engage. We should not go dwell what's happening. Oh, kya ho raha hai, kya ho raha hai. No, why? What is the point? That is not our motive here. The motive here is to move forward in Krishna consciousness. What is the motive? We are coming here, hearing every day and then chanting. What is the motive? Right, to purify our consciousness, to go back home, to aspire to go back home, back to Godhead. Right? That is the motive, and we need to have that kind of association. A lot of people will just give importance. They think that Krishna consciousness is a weekly activity. Or weekly once we'll meet. It's like you see there is the different sanghas, right, in India, in US, Telugu Association, Nana, Pata, or Tampa Telugu Association, TMA, TTA. This Krishna consciousness is not like that. Where we meet once in a while and then discuss what's happening and then share some contacts and then figure out what's happening. Hmm? My son doesn't have this job. Do you have this job? Can you tell? This thing is not for that. This association is to transform the consciousness, is to purify the heart. Now, heart purification happens through relation. Now, Arjuna submitted. That's how he understood. If Arjuna wouldn't have submitted and then he left the battlefield, do you think that Arjuna would have been successful if he did not hear from the Lord? No, wouldn't have been successful. Krishna would have selected another person, would have empowered another person. It wouldn't have been Arjuna, somebody else. Who are the emperors? Very important. Our mood, our consciousness, our activities, our analysis, everything is to be perfected. We don't we don't deviate in anything. And please understand, this disciplic succession, this truth has been preserved since. You know how this truth is preserved? Heart to heart. If we're actually reading Prabhupada's heart, it's heart to heart. That's how it is preserved and again and again, life after life. It will be very, very important. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. If anyone has any questions, from tomorrow we'll begin chapter 1. Observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The first step itself, Prabhupada is addressing the root problem. Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra, Samaveta Yutsava, Mamaka Pandavascheva, Kim Kurvata Sanjaya. He's actually differentiating between my sons and Pandu's sons. The differentiation is itself is a problem. You know why differentiation comes? I'll discuss tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandatina Malgosh Padangal.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Everyone, every day you're giving us how nicely you explain, how Guru Shastra Shastra explains us, like how the example of the maps and all. I really like the way you uh, enlighten us, Prabhuji. And also you gave us how intensely we have to chant to get rid of this material and remove the enviousness. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. And it is very important because without that deeper understanding, we'll be lost actually in this world. We cannot know, what is what we should do, how we should do, how we should lead our life. We cannot know. We only know through this, through their association, Guru Sadhu Shastra. Because they are our master. We're just there. We're trying to become their servants. That consciousness is very nice. I remember one time my spiritual master and a devotee wrote a letter. He wrote, "Your servant, so and so Das." And then next day he corrected in the class. He said, I never proclaimed that as a servant. How are you proclaiming as a servant? I never told as a servant. So we should never take any position also. Even that servant position also has to be given to us. Then he said you should aspire to become a servant. Then he said you should write you are aspiring servant. There's so much depth in everything. For this, relationship should be there. For example, if a person, Tom, Dick, Harry was going in the road, can we tell them? A relationship should be there. What they can understand with that mentality. If Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsara is there, how can they understand the truth? We cannot understand that. It becomes very difficult. The heart will not react, will not respond. We cannot feel the presence of the Lord. If we cannot feel the presence of the Lord, then it becomes dry. Process becomes dry. That's why that Shavana, continuous Shavana should be there. When continuous Shavana is there, then what happens? We get inspired, we feel joyful. Now, I was thinking about this disciplic succession, right? Just think about this. Since eternity, this is coming. Now, when Krishna told to Brahmaji, eternity, since beginning of the creation, that since the beginning of the creation, this truth has been preserved. That means, how are these personalities preserving this? What are this? What are their qualities? What is their life? What are their dedications? What is their relationship with the Lord? How are they doing this? How are they understanding this? How are they preserving this truth in the heart? How is it going from one heart to the other heart? Those things we need to meditate on. The more we meditate about that, we feel that we are very teeny. Very teeny. Very teeny. We are what? We are what personalities? Arrange. Thank you. Anyone else? Otherwise, I'll stop it here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, please tell.
Prabhuji, thank you so very much for sharing the nectar, Prabhu. Krishna Bhagavan, Swayam, and all the summary of all the Upanishads is Bhagavad Gita, and the summary of Bhagavad Gita is knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Personality and how much he loves and how much what he's doing. And the second point, we don't even know that we are envious of Krishna. We think, okay, Krishna, the Supreme Personality, we are close, we are chanting. But actually, the situation, if it's all about Krishna and his relationship, right? So if we are envious to the relationships, then obviously we are envious to Krishna as well. Lot of examples. So each and every situation we have to check, and as you said, if there are situations where we cannot get out of it, then the snake example of hissing but do not react, um, in time at time of guidance and so forth. So thank you, Prabhu. That's helpful. Sometimes we think, am I really unintentionally also really getting mad But slowly we have to come out of it, right, Prabhu, by sharing the truth. Otherwise, we'll be tangled through that consciousness, which I faced a lot in the past. Really, it was. I was thinking, where is this coming from? I didn't exactly, because, and then go back, check. Okay, from there, it was an intention where to guide the dependence, but then slowly the consciousness changes in a way where I get entangled to that enviousness. So I have to check. Yeah, just wanted to share, Prabhu. Please correct. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna. We should be very careful. Our focus should be on the truth. For example, if a negative thing is putting us down, we shouldn't begin speculating on that negative thing. We need to understand. First of all, we should be convinced that I have, I have some problems. Not just the other person, I also have problems. So we should be genuinely humble and we should focus on the truth and then move forward rather than speculating on the negative side of that aspect. I remember I remember my Swechashu telling about this. He tells us if you're thinking about an aspect again and again, you will actually go deeper into it and then you'll fall into that rabbit hole and then obviously you cannot come out of that because it will be a difficult state, right? That means your entire consciousness is actually driven through that only. That means you'll continuously think, oh, why did he told me like that? Why did he told me like that? Why that thing happened? Why that thing happened? Draupadi Amma, she never kept her consciousness like that. She has been humiliated, but after that humiliation also, when Ashwadhama he killed all those children, she said, just leave. Yeah. That's what he said. You see, he said, you just leave. That is their nature. That is their forgiving. So we should cultivate that. Now, we will only forgive when we are really taking shelter. That means when we are really connected to the process. But that forgiving should come. Who will forgive? We should pray. For example, if a person is engaged to us, we should pray for the well-being of that person. These are all wonderful. This actually jewels. They protect us so much in the heart. You should aspire for that state. When we do that, when we repeatedly do that, then those things will come. So what I'm telling right now, I do it. We should do that. When we do that, then only we will remember. No? Otherwise, we will not remember. Otherwise, we will not remember. Aspiration we should do. When we do that aspiration, dear devotee, what is Krishna consciousness means? Very simple, I'll tell. Whatever you hear, you apply that. You repeatedly apply that. And then if you have a devotee friend who is actually in the group, you discuss the truth with them. That's it. You do that, that will become a relation in your life. And then the more you do that, the more you'll come to the plane of selflessness. And then surrender will naturally come. But if you don't have that, then it's a problem. That means we should have a person to share, to discuss. Dadati pratigunati. Hare Krishna. I think it's already late. Yes, Dipali Mata, you're saying something. Is that okay, Amma? Sushil Pama?
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely. Having a person whom we can share with is a lot of mercy, actually, having a person itself, but have to find and share. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Amma, Dipali Amma, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I missed the class last 5 days. We were in Alachua and I forgot my phone. So, yeah, but it's again amazing. Thank you for the amazing class. I'm happy to be back again. So, I was just wanted to ask that working along with the devotees, we may feel sometimes that, that and senior devotees that we admire of the services, that they are envious of us. And we may see that this is our impurity and we should increase our service attitude for them, so that we will not feel like that, and because we also have to work together. But uh, with the time, practically we see that, I don't know if it's material intuition or what, that they are envious of us, and if we continue to work along with them, it will it will make it will increase our offenses. So how we should see such things?
So if a person is really, there are two things here, right? One thing is the person might not be envious, but we are feeling that he is envious. That is case one. What is case two is the person is really envious. That is case two. Case three, let's assume case one. Case one is case three. Okay. What is case three is we are assessing case one. What is that case one? The person is not envious, but we are feeling that he is envious. Because our consciousness might be in a different state. Let's say if I'm insecure, I will naturally get that notion that the other person is envious towards me. This generally happens. So, for example, what is the solution for that? When we continuously hear the truth and then discuss and then try to understand what this envy, that means we need to understand if there is envy in the heart, what happens. Through insecurity, Mantra had envy. So she poisoned Kaikai, that envy. That same envy disturbed the entire Ayodhya. That means when we understand the consequences of what happens through envy, it is very brutal. That means consciously also we should be very careful that this envy should not come into my heart. That means this envy is there. You remember I discussed about this, right? When envy is there in the heart, if you are fully Krishna conscious, what happens is that envy will not be impacting us because our focus is somewhere else. I just told this, right? That if there is a negative thing, our focus is on the positivity, our focus is on the Krishna conscious. What happens is, Amma, the negative things will not impact us. They will stay, but they will not impact us. Please understand. We might be in the midst of so many people. If I think that I'm superior, obviously my feeling towards the other person will be less. And I feel that they are envious on me. But if we feel our insignificance, you remember I just felt that we are very insignificant. How? By seeing the acharyas, by seeing their life. You know how this truth has been preserved here about this? Millions of years ago, the same truth is preserved. How? Through the hearts of the acharyas. That means how great empowered personalities are there. And we are receiving that association. When we see that kind of association, what do we feel? We feel ourselves very lonely and teeny, right? Which is good. When we feel we are very teeny, the first case is removed. What is case one? Case one is we do not have good consciousness. Through not having that good consciousness, we are feeling that not just that person, so many other people are envious towards us. We feel that generally. I'll tell another example also on this. For example, two people are walking or standing there, and then they are talking something. You know both of them. Both of them also know you. If the notion is not right in the heart, what happens? They'll feel they're speaking ill about me. You are not hearing what they're speaking. But the notion generally tells this because our heart is infected. Our heart is not right. That's why the notion will tell, oh, they're speaking ill of me. That means when we understand that they're speaking ill of me, what happens? We put them down. Please understand. By putting them down, we feel envious to them. But technically, they're not envious to us. They're discussing something. They might be discussing Harikatha. They might be discussing something else. That means indirectly, what is happening? Not just I'm envious to the other person, I'm also doing an offense. This is case one. What is case two? Case two is they are really envious. If they are really envious, we should be away from that. We should say Hare Krishna, we should move forward. We should not continue. But if we are kept in a position that we have to work with that devotee only, then we need to understand Krishna is testing us very deeply. We should pray intensely. We should see what is good in that person. We should tell about that good. We should tell what services he's doing. We should keep him in the higher position, and then we should lead our service. We should give him utmost respect and then do our service with that person. Who that person is very envious, but we are not envious to that person. If our heart is pure, if his heart is impure, that doesn't matter. If we are very pure, if our consciousness is right, we can work with any person. I remember my spiritual master. When he has deep relationship with his disciple, himself will go and serve that person. This person do not have good feelings with that person. He said, you go and serve him. Through that, what is happening is through this relationship is establishing that relationship. So what we need to aspire? My teacher told me, if there is an opportunity to serve with him, I will go and serve with them. But my consciousness, I will put this consciousness right. I will never have any envious feelings towards him. Rather, I will appreciate that devotee and then embrace him and then move forward. Krishna will be especially happy with this, and then within no time, his heart will also change. This is case 4. Now we need to decide which case we are. We should be in the combination of case 3 and case 4. There's case 1, case 2. Huh? The solution is case 3 and case 4. We should work in the combination of these two. Am I making sense, Amma? Deepali Amma?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I think we have to inculcate the idea of purifying our own heart and inculcating the idea of servant at every stage. No matter what the situation or no matter how the person in front of you is feeling about you.
And we need to remember the person who told us.
Yes, Prabhu.
Through that remembrance, we can actually do that very nicely. Because that's how I do it. For example,
Yes,
if a person is not good or ill or having ill feelings to us, I simply remember my spiritual master and then I deal with that person by remembering my spiritual master. Because if I remember him, the falsiga will not come. Please understand, this is true. It will work. वो काम करेगा, वो जरूर काम करेगा. No, I'm not eager that you remember me. What I'm trying is I'm trying to convince you that how this tattva will work. This tattva will work in this way. This is working since eternity. But when you feel that, oh, this truth I'm hearing, let me do this. Let me follow what he's trying to tell. This is a service which I'm doing to him. Through that mood, when we do, let me do this. If I do this, Prabhupada will be very happy. If I do this, my teacher will be happy. Srila Prabhupada will be embraced, will be excited. If I cultivate this consciousness, then for their happiness, if we do it, then you'll get a lot of mercy. Then you'll actually go deep into Krishna consciousness. Because you're not at the level of finding faults. You're going forward now. Because these questions will only come when you're actually aspiring for that pure state. I know based on that question also I'll tell, who is aspiring for what. So it's important. So please continue. I'll pray my best wishes. Please continue
yes,
that
Prabhu.
service.
Yes.
Move forward.
Thank you so much. And I would say that I don't have ability to purify my own heart. I mean, by myself. So I can I give credit to all of the hearing I do in the morning from you. So yeah, I try to remember that all the time. And yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for that honest question. Hare Krishna. We'll discuss further on this tomorrow. If I cause any inconvenience, please excuse me. Thank you all very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhu, please take over the call.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So thankful for your wonderful class, and also nice to see Indulekha ji with you. He's growing, and I'm thankful
Hare
for
Krishna.
the association, Prabhuji. Tomorrow is a great auspicious day of Vasant Panchami, appearance day and disappearance day of many great personalities. And one of the great personality is Vishnupriya Devi Mataji, who is the consort of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So since all female expansions of Radharani